Welcome back, guys. It is the Brothers Geek podcast, episode 154. G-Man in Singapore. How's it going, bro?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm back in Singapore. I am in my 14 days, doing my 14 days quarantine. It is day number, what is it? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Day number 5
Nice.
today. It's been going well so far. Um, just gonna have to deal with it. I got 10 more days. Time goes quick, so I should be cool with it. I didn't get a window, which is one thing that kind of made me claustrophobic on the first night, but I made peace with it. You can't see the view, but I got kind of a view, I guess. It's
Yeah.
not great. But I can't complain. I didn't get a bathtub. That was one thing I was hoping for. Like I'll just take long baths and shit. Bought bubble bath for no reason. I didn't get a bathtub. Um, but it's been all right, man. It's been all right. People been supportive as well. The hotel's been very helpful. I mean, it's the room. I think we spoke about this during the week, right? The room's okay, but there was some basicness, and they can't fix it. You literally can't do nothing about it. Like the light in the toilet is blinking, and there's a used tissue, most probably a Boston nut tissue. That's what I'm gonna put it down to, under the bed, and some French fries. So they could have cleaned that shit out at least, considering we're trying to be clean out here due to COVID and whatnot. You don't leave me in a room with a Boston nut tissue. But other than that, they've been helpful, man. They've hooked me
What
up
did
with
they say
internet,
about
good internet.
that issue?
I didn't even tell them about the tissue because when I told them about the light, they said, "I'm sorry, sir. There's nothing we can do. We can't come into the room or anything. So we're just I'm like literally, unfortunately, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Basically, it is what it is." So I didn't even tell them about the tissue and the French fry, but they've been helpful. Every morning with my breakfast, someone writes the security writes a handwritten note, like a
Mm.
motivational note sort of thing. So that's kind of sweet. And they hooked up my internet, like it was shit, and they hooked me up my own separate internet, like rather than the hotel internet, they gave me like a separate route or whatever, just so I could stream my movies and whatnot properly.
Nice.
So that was important to me. Um, so yeah, I've just been chilling, man. Today's a Saturday. Today, to be honest with you, I was a bit more worried about weekends just because Monday to Friday, at least I have work that kind of keeps me occupied and
Yeah.
whatnot. But today didn't go too bad. I was hoping to sleep all day, but I struggled to sleep anyway. But yeah, it was all right, man. Done some training, played that game, Ghost of Tsushima. Freaking hell, that game's
Give
hard,
me a
man.
second.
Oh,
Hold
God.
up. Dad's calling. Give me a second. Let me just double check. Sorry.
Okay,
Hello,
cool.
Assalamualaikum. Nah, say wala ba? Nah, khalku ay mo ba? We're gonna come tomorrow. No, no. Khalku. Who is everybody coming around today? Oh, no, me khalku. I'll come early and we'll kaya ba. Okay. All right, chicas. Assalamu alaikum. Dad needs a haircut.
Oh, damn.
Cool. No, I'm gonna go around tomorrow. I was thinking of going today, but we're gonna go tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah, but yeah.
Um,
And so you were saying about the hotel and everything. It's good that the staff are. It's quite nice to have that, man, because it must be. I don't even know what you're going through right now, bro. That's a whole different level.
like I said, like today weekends was gonna. I thought were gonna be tough, but today, like I said, I was playing that game, spent like 3 hours on it trying to do one mission.
Yeah.
Fucking can't play games anymore, man. But on a normal day, I wouldn't be spending that much time. But because I've
Yeah.
got nothing to do, I figured why not. And friends have been reaching out, I got my friend from Canada who I work with. He called me. We were talking for a while, so it's been good, man. People have been supportive. My girl's been supportive. Everything's been nice, man. But yeah, no, time will go quick. It'll be all right. It'll be okay.
Happy birthday as well. That's the main thing. You
Oh yeah,
celebrate
yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Jager, bro, man. That must have been hard, but hopefully all the
My
videos,
Jager and my
the nieces,
yeah.
nephews said cheered you up a bit, bro.
Those videos were awesome, man. So cute, amazing, man. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm used to celebrating birthday by myself. I've done it before. Well, last year I done it by myself, actually. Yeah. But this was like confined in a room, so it was a different steez. But
Yeah.
it's all right, man. People were nice, man. You know what it is like? People are nice where they send all the messages on Facebook. People you haven't heard from in years,
Mm.
like they send a message, and some people send private messages and whatnot. It's actually a really nice, it's nice, like that's one good thing about social media, I think,
Mm.
just spending a quick second to say happy birthday to someone you probably haven't spoken to in years or whatever, or even some strangers. It's like, oh, that's a nice gesture. So, yeah, it was cool, man. It was all right.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh man, it's been an interesting week. I know we're gonna try and sort out some time in. So guys, we're gonna sort out some time in to do the Justice League therapy session with Dax. Hopefully, if we could try and sort it out for tomorrow, G, that'd be awesome. If not, then
Send him a message.
yeah, drop him a message, see what we can do, sort out timing before I go to see mum and dad. If we could get an hour or two just to
So
give
what time works? What time works for you then if you're gonna go see mom and dad? What time are you gonna go see mom and dad?
this time, now would be good.
What time is it now? About 8, 9. So let's should we say 8 p.m. Singapore time, Hong Kong time, which is about 12 p.m. for you.
Yeah, 12 p.m. That'd be great.
So we'll do it for like an hour, say so what? So if you're going to mom and dad's house, you're gonna go like after 1:30 or 2 or something,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Alright. Alright, cool. Let's send him
Yeah,
I'll send him a
that'd
message.
be good because I still there's loads of things to cover on there, and I think it'd be nice to get other people's views as well. I think we've given it. There's loads. The reason why we didn't have to do it straight away is the internet is flooded, and to be honest, the Snyder Cut is still flooding the internet now. YouTube videos, social media. It has been mad, bro. Restore the Snyderverse. And I've been watching loads of interviews with Zack Snyder. Bless him, man. He's just a geek as well. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing I've loved about his movies is because he geeks out with them as well. Damn, lose, man. Uh,
Oh, headache.
yeah, this migraine, bro. I kind of feel like last night I couldn't go to sleep a bit, thinking I got corona, but I think it's just because work's been quite a stressful week. Alara not being well didn't help, and everything is just trying to catch up with me now. But I feel like if I go for a run, at least it will loosen me up a little bit.
Yeah, have some
Uh,
water as well, get hydrated.
yeah, drink loads,
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
cool.
So
I
yeah,
gotta
that's the Snyder Cut. But other than that, we've got loads to talk about, and I feel like let's go through the list that you had so far. So guys, massive thank you again for the follow on the channel. Guys, make sure you follow in our Instagram page, the Brothers Geek Out Podcast. I want to thank everybody on there that's been following and commenting and listening to the podcast. I know the Twitter and we're on Twitter as well, the Brothers Geek Out Podcast. I know I've been putting more time into that, and I think I will be doing on in the future is pushing more on those networks than on my personal ones anymore. I feel like it's a weird one now. I feel like doing something new is going to make a bit more of an impact now. So we've got two more guest shows coming up in the next month. We're going to get some more guests on the show as well and try and work on that. Massive thank you for uh, Spotify has been doing awesome. So everybody who's listening on Spotify, thank you so much. Other than that, we move on to the first part of the list. Let's see. What was it you had on here, bro? Oh man, my back.
Black Widow. Black Widow. Well, I
So
saw some stuff on top of this. Black Widow is been postponed to July 9th. I
mhm.
saw that Spider-Man, just to quickly jump in with some other stuff, I saw that Spider-Man has finished shooting. They finished
Nice.
shooting it, apparently. And someone made a tweet or whatever saying that Doctor Strange was supposed to come out about now. Doctor Strange 2, can you think about it?
Yes.
If it was cool, we would have had Doctor Strange 2. But anyway, look, Black Widow. I know we done a quick live call the other day. Yeah, I guess, they got to bring it out, right? It's going to come out on Disney Plus as well as cinema. So I think they've got to a point where they have no choice. By then, I think most countries and most places like cinemas might be open a little bit here and there. But they got a timeline to follow. The thing is with this Marvel universe, they got a timeline that they have to follow. It's not like, random movies where you could just bring them out whenever you want and shit, right? They have to follow a timeline. Otherwise, you can't,
Exactly.
carry on with the stories and stuff.
No, totally, man. And listen, bro, it's just like it's marketing and campaigning, isn't it? You've marketed this movie to come out last year, yeah. The pushback on that marketing has moved on what twice, three times. Uh, they were gonna have to make that big decision to go on streaming services and the rest of it. I mean, it's a shame, and I'm hoping by the time they've got their date released that all the cinemas over here are open because I'll still go watch it on the big screen. I need to be in that atmosphere again. The last film I think I watched was Tenant and Bill and Ted. So those are the two last movies I saw. So I'd love to go out there and be in that atmosphere again. But yeah, no, it's it is what it is, bro. Situations, isn't it? So they've
Mm.
adapted. They have to adapt. I'm looking forward to seeing that on the screen and seeing the Marvel Universe. I know we're going to talk more about the Falcon and Winter Soldier right at the end because it's more of a longer conversation. But I just love, I just want more. I want more. It's the same thing with Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out. I want more. It's like a really good time for creatives and people that are into this culture and the pop culture society. We're getting some good stuff at the moment now, and I couldn't be more happier because yes, it's been basic. You know what I mean? It's been proper basic for a lot of people. So for us to get content like this and really like I watched last bit of Snyder Cut yesterday just because I was like, let me just watch the last bit. I'm gonna watch it again. I want to watch the last bit. But I'll get on it in a bit later on because I feel like they made Flash a much better character. He was an important, crucial part of that story. And I think on the therapy sessions we'll talk about more because I feel like this whole movie was based around parenting, bro.
Parenting.
Mm.
Okay. Well, we
Side
could talk about.
relationship with his dad. Same thing with Flash. Same thing even with Bruce and Alfred. Bruce had a major character change in this from Batman v Superman to not being so. He went through a tough time. You could tell he went through a tough time. That's why he had that anger against Superman. But then talk
Yes.
about
Yeah.
faith
That's
and
that's the
yeah,
thing. I think with the Snyderverse, that would have all been explained, because are you still there, bro? Look,
yeah,
your
yeah.
screen froze. I
No,
don't
I'm
know
here.
if it's my internet or what. The screen froze, but I think that's what the Snyderverse would have showed us because Batman versus Superman. The first critique was he's killing everyone. He's killing everyone. Batman don't kill anyone, which is true, but still, this was a different version. And you saw at the end of Snyderverse, and spoiler alerts if you haven't seen it, then spoiler alert. The conversation he has with Joker and Joker. That's the scene where Joker's telling him that I killed your boy. Like you don't send a boy to do a man's job, and that's what I mean. So he's in that position where Robin's been killed and he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? That's why he's killing everyone. So I reckon with the standalone Batman movies and with whatever they would have moved forward with, I think the Snyder Cut would have expressed more of his anger because he was angry in that one, and then after in this one he felt guilty because of Supes. Getting Superman killed. What did he get Superman killed? But Superman dying anyway.
Mm.
So it was a brilliant two different versions of Batman.
Yeah,
Really great two different versions of Batman played by Ben Affleck, and I don't think he got the credit. I think the whole Snyderverse, everyone involved in that got fucked over because of this movie not coming out. But because this movie's come out, it's kind of redeemed everyone. People are
yeah,
loving Affleck now. People are loving Cavill now. People are loving the Flash, Cyborg. Everyone's getting redeemed because of this one cut. So the studios, when they made this decision, they not only, if you think about it, not for fucked over Justice League and DC Comics, but Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck. Like you fucked them all over because you didn't allow the story to explain why their characters are the way they are. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
So this Snyder versus redemption.
Moist. I'm excited to talk about this tomorrow. But yeah, let's leave the moistness to tomorrow, bro. Pierce Brosnan as Doctor Fate. Now, I'm not a big. I know that he's a massive sorcerer in the DC Comics world, and for them to pick a veteran like Pierce Brosnan, it's exciting because when you have good casting in a film, the script is going to be crucial to how each of these characters are placed in this movie, and The Rock, charismatic character as he is, again, Black Adam is a massive anti-hero. I'm interested to see what they do with this, man. Like, really excited to see what they do.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. As you called, Shazam was on, or just a while ago, Shazam was on. It's finished now. But yeah, I just remember how fun that movie was. I was watching it, just giggling and laughing because of all the jokes and how fun it was, and meeting Zachary Levi and Mark Strong and whatnot. That's still kind of epic. My girl was telling me her friend is like in love with Zachary Levi, and when she saw the picture, like she was jealous and shit. So I was like, good, be jealous. And I'm joking, but it's yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it too. I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not really too. I don't really know much about those characters.
Mm.
Obviously Shazam I do, but Black Adam and and Pierce Brosnan's character I'm not familiar with. But you know, Pierce Brosnan, man, the guy played James Bond. So you got Bond as in a comic book movie now. So that's pretty awesome. Well, you did have no. I was gonna say Tom Hardy, but he's never played the Bond, has he?
No, no.
I'm thinking of Daniel Craig. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, there's a Bond. We got James Bond in the comic book world, bro.
No, awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I think he's an awesome actor as well. And yeah, no, absolutely awesome. Ghost of Tsushima movie.
Yeah, yeah. So talking about the game earlier on, that's another reason why I want to play the game and learn the story because suppose everyone says stories, bro. Dwayne told me to play the game, and then when does Dwayne ever play video games, bro? And he told me to play it. So yes, anyway, the game's amazing. And yeah, there's a live action movie coming out with the same makers of John Wick, developers of John Wick. So
Wow.
that should be interesting. You know, the game itself is awesome. It's about the Mongols taking over Japan, which I don't think happened in history. I don't think the Mongols and Genghis Khan's Mongol gang as well. But the Mongols, I don't think they made it to Japan. Apparently, I think every time they tried to go over to Japan, the oceans kind of fucked up their ships. This is what my history that I know. I might be
Yeah.
wrong. Anyway, that's what that's about and I'm still in the beginning, so I don't know the rest of it. Pretty awesome game, but yeah, John Wick, bro. The guys who developed John Wick, they got a new movie out called Nobody. Have you seen the trailer to that?
Yeah, so I've seen the trailer. I know it's out. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it. It looks like a good
Oh,
action film. It's got that guy from Breaking Bad and Corsair. He was the
yeah, so
best lawyer. So I want to see it. It looks good. Listen, I love what the directors of John Wick did, bringing action, like that type of action back on the big screen, and making it a bit more flamboyant. You got your essence of John Woo. You've got your essence of Jerry Buckheimer. Sorry, is it Jerry Buckheimer? Jerry Buckheimer? One of them, anyway. Getting action films back on the big screen. Like good fun movies just to watch and just you don't have to think about it too much with some of the movies nowadays. It's caused such a. I think movies in general have caused a lot of things where people are like, you're casted as one part of what you like. Where we've always been big fans of everything, basically.
yeah, agreed, man, agreed. So they're bringing a different style. This is a samurai game, so the action that they're gonna bring out is not gonna be like John Wick. John Wick. I mean, even though that had a bit of sword fighting in it, whatnot, but there's gonna be no gun action and none that gun kata or gun fu or whatever they want to call it. So it'll be interesting. I don't know. Let's see. But I mean, I mean, the game has been that successful. They're looking to make a movie out of it. Then, there must be something about it. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's
No,
pretty
I'm looking
cool.
forward to that, man. Definitely, definitely. How was the program you said you were watching on Was it HBO? Muhammad Ali? What's my name?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the reason why I put that down is because one of the best documentaries I've seen of Ali, man. So
Yeah.
came out in 2019, I think. HBO, What's My Name, a Muhammad Ali documentary. It was like 3 hours long. It was a two-part
Yeah.
thing that I watched. It just kind of went from his story from the beginning all the way to the end. And when I mean beginning, I'm talking about every fight they kind of highlighted on, right? Some of them they kind of brushed through, but they really did highlight on all of his fights. And man, and then also you see, and this is the heartbreaking thing, you start seeing the deterioration of the boxing that gets him
Mm.
from he's always the pretty guy, right? He always called himself I'm pretty, I'm so pretty. He was that, he's always been that, but then the voice, the charismatic thing, you saw it by the end that it just was slowly diminishing.
Mm.
But then it's such a legend, like when you just follow that, when you just watch his career, like and see it the way they kind of presented it, you're like, man, he was the fucking GOAT. And then also, obviously, what he done outside of boxing is the GOAT. I mean, Floyd Mayweather has gone undefeated and whatnot, so you've got
Yeah.
to give it to him. But as a heavyweight GOAT, man, I mean, it's just the way he overcame everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just amazing, and he won the belt the first time, and then he lost it, and then he rematched and got the belt back, and then he lost it because of the draft, and then it's just all of that, and then when he lost it again, he came back.
Mm.
It's amazing. It's amazing that he was a three-time champion, and he overcame his loss. But by the end of it, man, the beatings that he took, man, fuck. Like some of the fights, I think I saw it. I think that the last title fight that he lost was against Spinks,
Mm.
and that first fight, he was just taking he was just taking a beating. Like, it was fucked up. I don't know if he tried the rope-a-dope thing, what he done against Foreman on Spinks. I don't know if that was his strategy, but he just took a beating. But then the second fight, you know, he came back and then he beat Spinks on points. But then after that, I think he carried on a little bit more. And then I can't remember who he lost it to again. But yeah, it's deep, bro. It's deep. And by the end, like I say, just the hits that he took. But then after, you know, he went on. He went on as you know, he went on and just went and to try to help people. That was it. Like, I'm done with boxing. You know, unfortunately, he took it a bit too far, and then he went on to help people, and that's the story of Ali, and everyone's gonna remember him. And you know, being a Muslim and whatnot, and everyone knowing the name Muhammad, and he held that close, you know. It was amazing. And people don't emphasize on something, actually. People don't, something they didn't emphasize a lot. And on this documentary, I wouldn't say they emphasized on a lot, but they did. When he didn't go to war, you know, people were like, oh, we give him credit. Some people obviously hated him for it, but some people gave him credit and they were like, oh, you know, we respect him for not going to war. It's about peace and blah, 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 blah. But what he emphasizes a lot, he goes, my religion of Islam teaches me not to go to war and kill innocent people. He emphasized that it was his religion more than anything. And that people don't really emphasize much on that before, really. You know what I mean? Like, it was his religion that made him not do it. That was his main thing. I don't kill people because my religion of Islam tells me I'm not allowed to kill innocent people. So that's something that I found, like, on the documentary. They talked about it a bit more because they interviewed few people from Vietnam or whatnot at the time, and there were some people were like, that's his bit, you know, based on his beliefs. If he doesn't believe in it, then respect to him and whatnot. And then other people had other shit to say, but they really some parts did emphasize on he didn't come out to war because of his Islamic beliefs. So that was quite awesome.
Of course, man, so important, man. But that is something that people will not focus on, bro. You know what I mean? The way the media is now, if they had focused on that back in the 60s, bro, that a guy didn't go to war because of his religion, it's not something that they would have pushed. You know what I mean? I mean, to this day, when media and, you know, everything else is hand fed to us, what we're getting, you're gonna get. They want to give you the worst of what's coming, innit? They don't want to give you the good that's coming. Because if they was to spread that message from the 1960s about this guy didn't go to religion because of his, this guy, Muhammad didn't go to war because of his religion, that would have been a massive impact because people would question that. But people didn't question that. They questioned other things in the process. So the media play a big part and people that spread that as well. You know what I mean? It's hard, bro, because you want to abuse people on that end. But everybody's doing a job, innit? And everybody's just trying to get by. So
it's true. I mean, it's true. If they did emphasize on that a lot, right? You know, when you know, with these unfortunate terrorists that come out who happen to be fucking Muslim, start doing shit. If the media kind of used that Ali thing from before, the general public would have been like, oh, okay, that's not in Islam. So let's not blame Islam. Let's blame these people because Muhammad Ali made it clear that he didn't go to war because of his religion of Islam. So these terrorists who come out and say that I'm doing it for Islam, we clearly know they're full of shit. Like, who you gonna believe? These fucking psychos, or you gonna believe the greatest of all time? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but again, the media won't push it. But at least these documentaries are out there. I'm not saying that they really emphasized on it, but it did emphasize on it and more than enough. It emphasized on it more than I've ever seen it, and that made me think about it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, Ali said it specific always. In every interview they showed, he was like, my religion, my religion, my religion. Like, he said it so many times. There was no other reason to it. So anyway, media's gonna do what the media's gonna do. It is what it is.
No, I'm gonna check that out. I will check that out. I've got a few movies on my list. I still need to watch Cherry.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you, man. I should have been on the list as well. Condolences to an unfortunate another fucking terrorist gun attack in the US, man. Did you hear about that in Colorado? What the fuck? Apparently there was 7 in 7 days, but I didn't hear about all the others. But apparently there was more. So I don't know. This one was another psycho. I don't think this one had a certain agenda or anything. Like, there was no race thing to it. But condolences to those people. Again, innocent people that I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say. It's crazy, crazy motherfucker.
It is. It is. It is. Prayers go out to people who have lost loved ones in the process. That's the very, very, very hard one, man. Very hard. But yeah, I mean, again, bro, media, innit? It's what they're gonna push on it. If it's a brown
It's
person or a
crazy.
person and it's got religion to it, then it's something else. But because ah, it's coming to a point now. But the thing is, bro, a lot of people have opened up their minds. This pandemic has changed a lot of things in people's perspectives as well. People know more, yeah, whether they want to talk about it or not. So you've got us who would more talk about it more openly, more freely, but there are people out there that will know, but they, again, bro, man, life is a weird one, man. We all have to do whatever we can do to get by and survive. We don't want to cause no confrontation in the process of that as well. So if I have to sacrifice something about saying something I really want to say, I've got to hold back because I don't know what the consequences of that would be later on. So you have to, it's like you got to be street smart with it as well. So uh,
Mm.
the conversations you're having is a difficult one. This is not something like I would have on an everyday conversation with my work colleagues or stuff like that because yes, it can hurt people in every ways, bro, every ways. But yeah, that's the crazy world we live in. And to be honest, bro, who watches the news, bro? Do you watch the news?
No, I don't. I don't. But unfortunately, that shit comes out on Facebook and Instagram and social media as well. So it's another way that I see these things. But yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I don't watch the news, and even though I work for the Wall Street Journal and whatnot, I don't really read that either, man. I just do my job. Um,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah.
Same here.
End of the
Same.
day, yeah, condolences to those people, and again, we know. Excuse me, shit is happening all over the world. So I know the US gets, again, the US is the popular kid in the world,
Mm,
and they get all the publicized, positive and negative and whatnot. So it's happening all over the world. So condolences to those people, and
mm.
again, prayers go out to everyone else in the world that's suffering. But that's the world. We're gonna do.
Oh,
It's life.
of course,
It's the world.
exactly.
I don't want to say it's life because that's fucked up, but it's life for some people, unfortunately. But
It is. It is.
it's the way of the world, unfortunately.
Damn, man.
Sorry, but I cut you. I cut you because I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, go on, carry on, bro. Did you want to move on to the next thing, or did you have some thoughts about
Oh
the
no, no.
Ali thing?
One more thing to cover, and it's like it's TV stuff. So I'm watching Superman and Lois, and yes, I'm on the fifth episode now, and it started off. I gotta say, it started off really well. I'm starting to get the feel of the CW meddling, the graphics looking kind of basic. You know what?
Mm.
Their core story to this is I know what they've done. You know, they they're concentrating on because remember you're putting Superman on a TV show, so you've got to dramatize it into it's more of a family thing now. It's about Superman trying to deal with uh moving back into Smallville. His mum's just passed away. He's got two kids, so they have moved it away from that CW mess that they originally had, but I feel like it's coming to the point now where it's weakening a bit. But the story is still good. It still has me connected. It's just the graphics and stuff are starting to throw me off. I feel like it didn't have the budget it started off with in the first two episodes because you were like, okay, you know what? For a TV show, that looks great. But then when you look at something like Wonder Vision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you're like, okay, so that's still movie quality. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Guys, you guys can do this. For me, it's like don't do Soup's bad, man. Come on, man. Like you've just made me like this guy, and then you're starting to lose with the graphics again. The other thing as well that threw me off as well is his costume, man. It's when he's Clark, you're like, nah, you lose, guy. Yeah,
Mm.
he need body pads once he puts a Superman suit on. Because when he puts a Superman suit on, I was like, oh, right, man, he looked hench, bro. You look good. And he looked Clark, and you're like, nah, man, that doesn't make no sense. It clearly shows he's got body pads on, which kind of throws you out of the scene, and that's what it shouldn't have done. I,
Mm.
I don't want to be noticing
Because
that.
yeah, no, I get it, man. Because Cavill, for example, he put the work in. He
Mm,
put the work in to look like in the shape that he had to. I feel like this. I'm not saying that he's not doing a great job because I haven't seen it and whatnot. And to be honest with you, I don't think I will watch it because of the CW-ness in it. But I just feel like he wouldn't be putting the same effort into it that Henry Cavill did. You know what I mean? As in the work ethic to get that body
Oh,
shape and
bro.
stuff.
You know, the thing is, it's like it almost had a feeling of the Smallville TV show, which even though that had a lot of cheese, it did make me love pop culture a little bit more because knowing, we were watching Smallville, it came out at a good time, but they had some really basic episodes, and I feel like this doesn't have that same feeling. That it has more of a continued story, so we know we're going to get to a cliffhanger. I know it's been signed up for season 2. I'm going to continue a little bit longer because I do like the dynamics of having a family, uh, and trying to be the superhero at the same time. You know, it's a massive responsibility because he wants to be a dad as well, and he wants to be a good dad. He wants to be like how his dad was. So I do like that dynamic. So I'm going to continue watching it because of that part of the story. But sometimes I feel like the bodysuit and the graphics throw me off. It's actually a really nice day out there, man. I need to go out.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah,
That's cool. Maybe I need to watch the first episode at least, and maybe I'll do that while I'm
give
in
it a go,
quarantine.
bro.
Fuck it, I'll do that.
I wouldn't say not watch it, but give it a go. I mean, it's one of those watches where it's like now finally I've kind of like accepted it for what it is. What it is, that first episode that they brought out was really good, bro. Was really good, and I feel like they had the budget to keep that way. I feel like they're starting to lose that budget now.
Mm.
But yeah, no,
Yeah,
give
it's
it
a shame.
a chance. Just have a
I'll
play.
give it a go. I'll give it a go. Yeah, for sure. I definitely. I will. I will. I will. I'll see what that first episode's about. But anything with CW now, because of their previous, this is what the problem is. Because of their previous shows, especially Flash and Arrow, anything comes out CW, it doesn't capture my interest. So I don't
Mm.
really give a shit. Supergirl, all of them, man. I'm just like, you know what? You've already lost my interest. Before you even started. So any new show that comes out, I'm already being biased against it and be like, oh, fuck that. Whereas Marvel, I know we'll talk about it in a bit, their movie quality shows and their characters from the movies and everything's still synced and aligned and it's going to match up to the story. The quality is not going to be lower. Like everything is still on point. They've kept the
Consistent.
same energy, man.
Good consistency. That's the main thing. Did you see the
Yeah.
trailer for Suicide Squad?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What do you
Fuck,
think?
that looks so good.
Uh, because I know James Gunn, man, he's wicked. So we were in for a treat already. But yeah, I mean, what was your initial first thoughts?
Bro, that trailer, the initial, bro, it felt like, I have to say, man, maybe because it's Gun, I just felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy sort of vibe, sort of.
Yeah,
I'm not comparing it and whatnot, but when I mean that, I'm saying he made all the characters, I already, or are likable. Like, Killer Shark is so cute and likable already. And you just seen a couple scenes of him, Stallone's playing him or whatnot. Everyone, and the jokes and whatnot that's going back, the little banters and whatnot, I'm like, you got me. That's gonna be brilliant. It looks so much fun. It looks like it's gonna be so much fun. And
mm,
considering what happened with the first movie, again, that was just, let's not talk about that. But again, James Gunn is just a perfect guy. He done it with Guardians of the Galaxy, so he's perfect for this kind of characters, and to kind of make them fun and lovable.
of course, of course, of course. Listen, man, the guy's got good visuals. He knows what he wants. He loves classic old movies as well. And we're gonna get that feel as well. And I love all the artwork and poster work that's coming out. And remember, he's brought characters into here that are like when Suicide Squad first started years ago. So the guy does his history. He knows what he likes, and he knows what to bring on the screen as well. So everybody's in for a little
And what a
treat.
cast, man.
Good,
Yeah,
good
what a
cast.
cast, man. Idris Elba, freaking Stallone, John Cena, obviously Maggie, what was her name?
Margot Robbie
I was just about to say Margaret Thatcher.
should be pissed if she heard that.
Oh shit. Um, I couldn't believe how much fun it was. I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be super fun. I'm sure it's gonna be literally like like literally like Guardians of the Galaxy, where everyone fell in love with a tree and a talking raccoon. I think everyone's gonna fall in love with Killer Shark and any other sort of funny characters and whatnot in there.
Bro, that trailer in the trailer, that part, there's a fucking kaiju.
Yeah, yeah,
What you
bro.
that was brilliant.
It's gonna be violent, man. I mean, that was an R-rated trailer.
Hmm?
Fucking hell,
It's
my
gonna be
food's coming out my stomach.
bro.
Excuse me.
Oh,
That was an R-rated trailer, man. Killer Shark, the way he was like num num, like that was so cute, bro. And he munched him up and he ripped the other dude up. Bro, this film's gonna be so much jokes. I'm looking for. When did it say it was gonna release?
is it this year?
It's
Oh,
this year. It's this year. I saw it's a couple months from now.
let me check, man. Suicide Squad. It comes out in August, bro.
Damn, and that will come quick. That will come quick. And by then, cinemas might be open. Should be open, actually. So, wicked, wicked. Got some good DC stuff coming up. DC's on a roll. Let's not fuck it
Bro,
up.
enough love to DC.
Get,
It's about time. They need it, bro. They need it. And I need to see more DC stuff. Uh, because of Zack Snyder's Justice League, it brought so much love back for these characters as well. You know, I look at everybody's reviews and stuff like that, and they're like, "Man, Warner Brothers deaded them." But
mm.
listen,
I was speaking to Shin yesterday. Remember Shin from Hong Kong?
yeah,
Remember him? And even he loved it, right? But he made one point. I was like, oh, that's a good point. That because of how shit the 2017 one was, automatically we have to compare it because it's Justice League. Automatically, you're like, this film is fucking awesome because you're comparing it straight away. So that's one element that everyone's gonna take straight away and say, oh, this film is fucking awesome. He's like, if that 2007, if this one did came out in 2017, the Snyder Cut one did come out, would we have loved it as much? It's still a brilliant movie, but would we have loved it so much? Because we're comparing it to that old shit one. It's easier to say it's much better than that shit, and it is.
oh, of course, you're totally right. And I think,
It's a good
listen,
point.
I've actually thought about that question because a lot of people have been asking me that as well. I think the fanboy in me would have said, uh, I'm moist anyway. I'm excited. You know, I'm happy to see these characters on the big screen. I think me being a bit more critical about it, the length, of it, even though it didn't even feel, for me personally, it didn't feel like it was a 4 hour movie because of the pacing, because you wanted to know more about what's happening. So, but the
They
pace
could have done a two-part. They could have like Infinity War and Endgame. They could have done a two-part series.
did
You
that,
never know.
I think that would have been good. But because the first 2 hours is not amazingly fast, I think that would have thrown people off.
Yes, that's true as well. That's true as
The
well.
first 2 hours, you know, after the second 2 hours, bro, is so full on. Like my head can't keep around how much, because remember when Superman comes back, spoilers, guys, that's an hour, bro. He comes back, it's still an hour of epicness. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think the length will throw people off, and the aspect ratio will throw people off as well. People don't realize the aspect ratio is that they're getting more on the top than the bottom.
Mm.
Because if you look back at the original Justice League that did come out, not original, sorry, that's not the original. The Joss Whedon one, they cut it so everything looks all zoomed in. So you lose the
Mm.
well, that people forget that aspect ratio is actually taller. So people need to see how much detail they're getting. Because if you click on the TV channel on the remote, there is a zoom function on there, guys. So if you do want to watch it widescreen, you click on zoom and it will zoom in. But then you lose all the detail on the top and the bottom. So that's what you guys got to remember, that the aspect ratio, the reason why he did that is that, yes, he wanted to play it on larger screens, but you get so much more on the top and so much more at the bottom. So you get to see, like the way he did it was, you know, comic book format as well, boxes, comic book box.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So what more would you have wanted? You know what I mean? But creative skills, artistic skills is very difficult. Remember, I watched an interview with Zack Snyder yesterday, and he was talking about the aspect ratio. Back in cinema, 100 years ago, that's how people watch films, bro.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So they always had those black bars from before. So it's only till after the 60s, 50s and 60s that everything turned into widescreen. So you get more on the sides, but you don't get top and bottom no more. But anyway, that's well, you know what?
We'll talk about that more tomorrow. We'll geek out about that tomorrow. There's a lot to talk about on that one.
Talk more tomorrow. We'll have that later on in the week. Uh, let's talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier, bro.
Yeah.
Episode 2. Your thoughts, bro?
Love it. Ashraf sent a gif, right, of this little cute little fat kid dancing. He's like, boys, I just watched episode 2. Here's my reaction. And I got me pumped, and I literally would felt the same as that little fat kid dancing.
Yeah.
It's so good, bro. It's so the quality of the show, as we discussed earlier, is movie quality. So I'm watching a movie. Like I'm watching literally a movie. And just what they touched on in this episode, man. It starts off with that new Cap, right? And you straight away already everyone's hating him. He's like, I saw a funny meme where it was like they compared Loki to him. It's like Loki been screen time couple of hours in all these movies, destroyed New York, blah blah blah, backstab this, blah 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 blah, lovable. This guy, 20 seconds of screen time, gives a little smile and a wink, hated by everyone. It's true though. Look, they started off with his background or whatnot, and in the comics, eventually this guy goes on and starts killing people and shit, right? And then the real Steve Rogers comes back. It's interesting what they did with the costume, right? Because the costume that he's wearing, Steve Rogers wears that to come back and whatnot. But he is. I mean, I'm hating on him too. I don't like him. I don't want him to be my Cap. But I love that there's certain things where Bucky, he's holding that against Sam now even more. They got the tension. You can feel it. He's holding it against him, and Sam's fighting his own battles, man, because he's obviously hurt as well.
Of course, and I feel like Marvel at the moment now is introducing a new thing, and I know it's come at a time where there's a lot of turmoil between issues with race, issues with where you stand in life as well. Listen, man, he's got stuff going on at home as well. You know what I mean? Like, he can't get a bank loan. He's trying to save the family house. This is real life stuff now. Don't explain in the movies, because now we get the chance to actually dig deep into these characters. This guy,
that's why I love these shows.
A whole load of more shit now than worry about. Like, I know Cap trusted him and handed it over to him, but he knew that Sam was a good judge of character. That's why he gave it to him. So when he was ready, he would have taken them on that mantle. And I think this is his journey to get into that point.
That's a good point. I mean, in the comics, this guy, I can't remember his name, but he goes crazy, right? And Steve Rogers comes back. So maybe in this show, they're gonna follow that same path, because he already seems a little bit on edge type things, and he's already using a gun. And to be fair, he was fighting well and using that shield well. It's like, you bastard. I reckon he's a super soldier too. I reckon he's got some of that serum in him too. That the bad guys, the flag smashers or whatever they got there, I reckon he's got that in him too. But I reckon Bucky and Falcon will take this guy down like Steve did in the comics. That's what I think. But and the race thing, bro. I mean, listen, the comedy is awesome as well. The trailer looked like it would be so much comedy, and it's not full of comedy, but they got them scenes in it, man. That when that kid was like, "Yo, it's Black Falcon," I was cracking up, bro. That was hilarious.
Bro. I was like, I don't know why. And he was like, "Should I just call you Black Kid?"
Yeah,
it made me laugh, bro. I do like that. It tones it down a little bit. It grounds the show a little bit. I mean, I know
underlying. Sorry to cut you, but that was funny. But there's an underlying, such a serious message in that, as you mentioned, which in the US especially, with color and black. Like, even his father calls him Black Falcon. He's like, no, he's just Falcon. Like, why you identify him as Black Falcon? So it's the thing, you know what I'm saying? And then that situation that happened with the police, and then Bucky was like, no, he's not bothering me. Do you know who the hell this is? Like, you know what I mean? You tell the police, do you know who the hell this is that you're talking to like this? And the other guy's like, it's like, those sort of scenes, man, are very, even though it was comedy, the Black Falcon part was comedy, and then the other part was a bit more serious, but those sort of scenes are very critical. And then, I know we skipped ahead, but then meeting the Black Captain America, I'm sorry, I don't know the names or whatnot. Elijah, was it Elijah? No,
Elijah.
I
Hold
think
on.
it was. Maybe I messed that up. But that was deep as well. That was fucking deep because, um, in the comics, I think he gets arrested for
Oh, yeah.
stealing.
Bradley.
Yeah, okay. In the comics, he gets put in prison. So yeah, in the comics, it's fucked up, bro. Because I was watching a breakdown earlier on, right? And in the comics, during that time, they emphasized in the comics that they were just testing shit on black people, serums and whatnot on black people. It's fucked up. That's like they put that in the comics, and this guy goes out and he steals Cap's uniform and tries to save, and he goes into prison for that. But in this show, they emphasize that as well. Like they put him in prison, and fuck up his life. And there was a black Cap, there was a black superhero out there from back in the days, and just typical of like unfortunately like American government and whatnot, they fucked him up, put him in prison. That was deep, bro. That was deep.
It's hurtful, bro, because even for Sam, he was like, you guys knew about this, but you couldn't say anything. Like, it's you could you could see it playing into this Marvel Cinematic Universe where, race and stature is still there. You know what I mean? And I think this
Yeah.
this is where it kind of grounds the show a little bit more, the more of the
With
connection to
Sam,
the real world.
Yeah, no, with Sam in this episode, man, there was like three major points where like, he could have just been like, hold on, is it because I'm black? Like, first of all, he sees the shield goes to this white dude, right? For a new Captain America out of the blue, because he gave it. I think he just donated it. He's like, I'm not gonna. Steve is such a legend. I'm not gonna even try and compare myself to him and use this. Let me just do my Falcon thing. So I think he
Yeah.
just gave it in. But one, it was the shield was taken and given to a white guy. Two, the police situation they went through, and three, he found out about the black Captain America. So there's like 3 points in this one episode, which is just like, hold on, what the fuck? Like, it really touched on the racism and whatnot, in America, unfortunately, but. I think they're doing it very well. I think they're not being very blunt about it, but
No,
they're
no, they're
throwing
doing.
it in there a little bit.
I think they will filter into it more. There was one thing that made me crack up as well is the warehouse scene at the beginning where he's like, ready to chase him, and I love that opening scene. That scene was sick, bro. And seeing Falcon doing his thing, and is when he dropped the when he said like shit, and he said it twice in this one, and I keep forgetting like they've only done that once in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Spidey when Ant-Man grew up and he was like shit,
Don't they? Haven't they swore?
bro.
Cap, no thing done it. Stark did it. Remember in Iron Man 2, and then Cap was like language. He said shit, didn't he?
I think so. I'm trying to remember. I need to double check.
Remember at the beginning, he hits the shield and he's like shit, and Captain's like language.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I
But I
don't know.
think
People
shit.
forget how clean the language is. Suddenly, when you hear some bad words, you're like, "Oh man, yeah, man, this is my thing." You know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah,
You just have
I
that.
think that realness to it. I think shit is probably the worst language they use. I think Cat might have said son of a bitch once.
Yeah,
Let's go get this son of a bitch, like to Thanos and whatnot. But yeah, outside of that, I don't think they've used. Come to think about it, and it's so good though. I have to say it's good. I mean, yes, using some of the language is more relatable to the way we talk,
yeah,
but also it's so good where the whole movies have no bad language in it, and
that's
it doesn't feel out of place, which
that's
is
right. That's
I
right.
don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but yeah, no, yeah, but that also those scenes between Bucky and Falcon is fucking awesome. That part when they're doing the therapy session and they were looking like the therapist was like, what do you call it? Get closer, and then they kind of kind of scissor themselves. That shit was hilarious. I found that awesome, and the tension between them. But then also the little Easter egg of calling him White Wolf. He called him White Panther, and then he's like, no, it's actually White Wolf. I thought that was pretty awesome that they threw that in there,
I know.
which was cool.
I did like that myself as well. That was actually really good. Made me laugh. Made me chuckle. Uh,
That I was saying, I don't know if you heard me, man, when they kind of scissored themselves to get closer. That was hilarious, bro. That cracked me up.
Yeah, that was a good scene. It was a good scene, and it was quite emotional, bro. Like Bucky's still going for a lot. You know what I mean? Bucky, he's trying to make amends, man. You know what I mean? But he's just finding it difficult to adapt, and that's pure PTSD. There, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. And you know that scene, even though it was funny, at the end of it when Bucky expressed it, really dug into the kind of narrative of the show. Like, why did you give the shield away? You knew what they were gonna do. Why did you give it away? Steve gave it to you. It's kind of like, you know, when your boy, man, your it's Cap, like your boy, and he's gone now, and the only thing he like one of the only things he left by, and it's all fucked up. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and it's the same with like that new Cap, like. He keeps calling him Bucky. It's like, don't call me Bucky. You don't know me.
Exactly.
Steve calls me Bucky. Call
Yeah,
me Barnes. Call me Sergeant Barnes. That's my fucking name. Like, you
yeah.
don't call me Bucky. I felt that. I was like, don't call him. I even said it, man. Don't stop calling him Bucky, man. Like, who the fuck are you? I'm biased, man. I don't like this guy, bro. I don't like this dude. I'm sorry, but he's hated, bro. And I hope he becomes a villain and starts killing people,
Shit
and
I've
he's
seen
gonna be
on
stopped.
the internet is bad, bro. He must be hating himself right now. He never gonna be.
I read a tweet. I read a tweet about him. He did say that well, maybe he's just being optimistic, but he was like, no, I enjoy being hated. I'm like, all right, well, maybe. I don't know. But also, I did notice that, and again, it's in the comics as well. But his friend, he happened to have a black, not sidekick, but counterpart. You know, right hand man, basically, just like Falcon and Cap. But I don't want to make this whole thing about race and whatnot, but that was in there too. But I
Yeah,
could that going back to that scene, you know, when Bucky did express, man, you could feel it, and it hit Sam as well. You could feel that Sam's like, no, man, don't fucking tell me this, but I got my own shit. Like he said it, you guys won't understand. Like
yeah.
wasn't ready, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So they're going for their own shit, man.
No, of course, of course. Ah, man, good show. Really
Yeah.
enjoying.
What I mean
Love the
at
dynamic.
the end, well, we didn't even talk about the end, bro. Fucking hell, Mr. Zemo.
Yes, he's back. We knew he was going to be back, but it's just the way they did
I
it.
know.
The way.
I always thought that these flag bashers or whatever they call it, are gonna break him out, but I have a feeling that these guys are gonna break him out, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, because he's gonna have information. I have this weird feeling that they will break him out because he has information on where these super soldier serums coming from.
Mm.
This is interesting. I don't know if Zemo will be the big bad in this show. Like, I don't know if it is gonna be him. I think it might be something else.
Oh man, episode 3, man. That's going to be. Oh, already want my week to finish, bro. You know what I mean? I know when Monday comes, I'll be like, gagging for Friday, bro. So,
I
no,
have to say, like WandaVision was awesome, but they did take a risk with the way it started and all that sort of
yeah,
shit. Um, and I think that took 3 or 4 episodes to you're like, oh, I can't wait till next week, right? Whereas this one, from episode 1, you're like, oh my god, this is awesome! I can't wait till next week. Like you're just straight away like, I want to know more. Um, such a good show, man. But yeah, Mr. Zemo, and I'm looking forward to him wearing his purple hat or mask or whatever you want to call it. I just want to see more, man. I want more. I love this show. I love it. I'm gutted a little bit that we got 4 more episodes,
I know,
but
I know, I know. It's not enough. But remember, these episodes are longer. We're getting 45 minutes of, full on action. But it threw me off when the episode ended. I was like, oh man, nah, man, how you end it like that, man? But Marvel know what they're doing. They're keeping us on our toes. Just got.
yeah, man. Do you know what else is out that I didn't watch? I'll probably watch it actually now. Actually, Mighty Ducks. Episode
I'm
1 came out.
really upset that Disney have not been pushing that show. Like I just saw it up on the listing this morning, and I was like, "What? I'm gonna watch this tonight." So, Mighty Ducks. I'm looking forward to watching that. I did. Me and wifey caught up with it the other day. I think it was up to number 3. So yeah, it'd be good to see Emilio Estevez back in there again. So I'm gonna watch that later on. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that, man. Definitely.
Me too. I'm gonna watch that too. I'm gonna do it now. Actually, have a little donut. My missus bought me some Krispy Kremes. I gotta eat through, man. So I'm gonna have a little donut.
How
Getting
did
a little bellies.
you give it to the hotel staff to give it to you?
Yeah. She just delivered it, and then the delivery lot bring it to the hotel staff, and then they bring it up for me. So
Oh, yes.
it's okay. I could deliver food, and got Nando's. She got me Nando's as well. So that was nice. So yeah, I'm gonna have a little Krispy Kreme, a cup of tea, and watch Mighty Ducks.
Cool, man. Listen, enjoy, be safe. Make sure you give us a call. I'm sure we'll talk in between again, but yeah, I'm gonna put some more footage up this week. Guys, make sure you follow us on Instagram, the Brothers Geek Out Podcast, and we're on Twitter as well. G-Man, I need to send you a link to some. Basically, somebody sent us. It's from a company to read some comic books and review it on next week's show. So I'm gonna send you the link.
Oh,
Check it out. It's about this wrestling superhero. So
okay.
you know what? Let me get the name up now because, to be honest, they sent it 2 weeks ago, and we apologize, dude. I will read through it. Timing has been quite tough. The comic is called. Hold up.
And is this the person who sent it to you? Is this his character, his comic book, and everything, his creation?
It's called Invasion from Planet WrestlePhobia. WrestlePhia.
Why does this sound familiar? I feel like this sounds so familiar, man. Like I feel like this is something that I heard on even Fat Man Beyond.
Invasion of the Planet WrestleTopia. All right, cool. It's SBI Press. So Suspicious Behavior Productions. So guys, we haven't forgot you. I'm gonna send the link to my brother. I'm gonna read it. He's gonna read it. Hopefully in a week or two we'll go through. There's 6 issues to go through, and then we'll do a little shout out to them because it looks good. The artwork looks good. I just haven't had the chance to get through it. So apologies there. So
Send it
anyway,
to me. I'll take a look.
yeah, I'll send it to you, G. And
Cool. Awesome.
well,
Awesome.
yeah, I'm gonna send that link to you now while we're on here so that I
Yeah.
don't get in trouble.
And we talk tomorrow with Dax. He's free, so let's do it, man. Um, so we'll do the Justice League therapy session. I think that deserves a therapy session. I'm gonna try and watch. You know what? Tonight I think I might watch like two parts, and then maybe tomorrow I'll watch the last 4 before we catch up. But yeah, I want to get a bit more refresh. Yeah.
Cool. I'll do the same. All right, guys, massive shout outs to you guys. Make sure you check us out on SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We're going to get on more platforms, guys. If you guys are still looking at our beautiful faces on YouTube, thank you very much. Thanks for subscribing. You guys are awesome. Hope you guys are enjoying the passion session as well. So, but yeah, G-Man, be safe. We catch up, yeah?
Peace.